With free agency well underway and a lot of the big names already taken off the board, there are still some pretty good names left. Who are they? Should the Bills look at them? And where might they end up? Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to another edition of this free agency breakdown 2019, where we talk about the Buffalo Bills and their free agency process in 2019, what players they pick up, who should they pick up, everything Buffalo Bills. So if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, because we do cover not only the Buffalo Bills, but we cover all Buffalo sports. Sabres, March Madness come up with the Buffalo Bulls, both men's and women's team looking to get into the tournament. Women's team making the Sweet 16 last year, so we'll see what happens there. And then, of course, any other Buffalo sports news you want to talk about, we will bring it to you. So we want to talk today more about the NFL free agency period. NFL free agency is well underway. Big names, most of them, a lot of them already taken off the board. Who's left? Who is left? And who might the Buffalo Bills be interested in? Because again, this free agency period lasts up until the beginning of the season, basically, because you're gonna have your big name free agents sign now, and a lot of role players, things like that. Then you're gonna have the NFL draft, and then you're gonna see more free agents come off the board. Who couldn't we get in the NFL draft, right? What position need were we not able to focus on in the NFL draft just due to what players were available at the time we picked, right? As Brandon Beane said, you want to pick the best available players. You can't always pick position of need, so if you miss a position of need and might need to go back into that free agency again, won't be the best players, but will be someone you can put in there who might improve that position. So, again, we've seen a lot of big names, Le'Veon Bell, we've seen Mosley, Suggs, Beasley, like all these big names, John Brown, we've seen them come off the board, right? Who's left? Who's left? So who is the biggest name left out there? And let me know if you disagree with this in the comment section, but I think the biggest name currently out there is Justin Houston, formerly of the Kansas City Chiefs. We learned right before free agency opened up that the Kansas City Chiefs would release Justin Houston, and he is now available edge rusher, 30 years old, so he's getting a little up there in age, but still a pretty good edge rusher. I think he had 9 sacks last season, something like that. It was a pretty decent number. He's had up to 16 sacks a season in his career. Again, getting a little bit older, but no reason to not get a 2, 3, 4-year contract done with this guy who's been there before, knows how to get done, knows a thing or two about leadership. So as the Buffalo Bills look for an edge rusher, is this the type of guy you're interested in? I'm not so sold on Justin Houston if we picked him up, hopefully for the right number, and Brandon Beane's been really good about making sure we pick players up for the right number. I'd be okay with that signing, but I'm not sure that's the type of signing we need at the edge position at this time. Next on my list is another guy who's getting up there in age, who was in the Super Bowl last year on the Rams, Ndamukong Suh, 32 years of age, defensive tackle. We do know that we need help at the defensive tackle position. Kyle Williams walking away. Would this be the type of guy we want in there? I, again, don't think so. I think when we talk about defensive tackle, if we want an older guy, that's great, but we want an older guy that shows leadership. Ndamukong Suh, in my opinion, just has never showed leadership. Go back to last year, not a troublemaker like he has been in years past, but Donald was obviously the leadership guy of that defense, and he will continue to do that. I don't see Ndamukong Suh as a guy who can step up on the leadership front. He might still be productive, and that's good too. So what you need is a defense that already has that established leader who the team can go to. Do the Bills have that? Trey White, Jerry Hughes, maybe, but definitely not the leadership qualities of a Kyle Williams. If we needed a defensive tackle, maybe if Starr wasn't there and Kyle Williams was there, then I would say maybe Ndamukong Suh could help him out. But we want to get younger at the position, and also we want someone with leadership ability. Not sure if Ndamukong Suh would fit that role. I would prefer if we signed one of those two players, Justin Houston over Ndamukong Suh. Next is a guy that the Bills have been associated with. I'd like this signing. I hope we do it. Ziggy Ansah, edge rusher from the Lions, 29 years old. So you're talking about a little bit younger than Justin Houston. Not too much, but a year or two younger. So again, maybe sign him to a short-term contract. But I know he's visited with the Buffalo Bills. Wouldn't mind picking him up. That would help us out on the edge a little bit. Again, we do want to get some more edge pass rushers in there and defensive tackles if we can. Next down the list is a name that we are all familiar with. That's Ronald Darby, cornerback, previously of the Philadelphia Eagles, spent the last couple years with the Eagles after the Buffalo Bills trade him away. Is it possible that the Bills can bring him back? We know we addressed the cornerback a little bit earlier in free agency with Johnson, but that does not mean that the cornerback is settled by a long shot. So maybe we pick up a Ronald Darby. Would you guys invite Ronald Darby back into the locker room? I think I would. I really enjoyed his time here in Buffalo. Played well. Now he did tear his ACL, I believe, early in his career with the Eagles, so maybe that's going to hinder him a little bit, but I always like Ronald Darby. Wouldn't mind bringing him back one more go-around with the Buffalo Bills. Next on the list, again, a position we've already talked about in free agency, but definitely not a position that we're not done with. That's Jared Cook, tight end. Played with a couple teams, the Rams, Packers, and most recently with the Raiders. 30 years old, so I'm sorry, 31 years old. Is this the type of guy that we want on our team? He's a tight end, can get a lot of catches, good for maybe, somewhere between 900 to 1,100 yards of offense. Is that type of security blanket we want with a tight end group that, let's face it, it's a little younger, right? You got Jason Kroom, who is a little bit young. You got the tight end from Cincinnati we just signed. He's, I believe, 25, 26. Maybe this is the type of veteran guy you want as a tight end to help these guys groom into wherever they can be. I'm not sure we want to look at the draft. I know there's some good tight ends in the NFL draft. I'm not saying we're not going to draft a tight end, but we already have a guy that's only been on the team for a year. Are we just going to continue to get younger at that position? At some point, you need leadership. So I would put Jared Cook up there as guys I might be interested in, especially if the number's right. I would definitely be interested in Jared Cook. Zach Brown, linebacker, again, a name that most Buffalo Bills fans are familiar with. Most previously of the Washington Redskins, but prior to that was a Buffalo Bill. Made it to the Pro Bowl for the Buffalo Bills as well. Getting a little up there at 29 years of age at the linebacker position. Not able to move as fast as he once did, but still a pretty good linebacker. So someone that, if a team needs linebacker help, luckily the Bills do not. So I'm not sure we'll look at Zach Brown, but if you need linebacker help, definitely a guy who can help you out. Going back to the cornerback position, a guy I really liked coming into free agency, and that's Bryce Callahan, previously of the Bears, cornerback, 27 years of age. Definitely someone who can help out your cornerback position. I think he would be great in the slot corner position, so I wouldn't hate picking him up either. I think it would be a good, solid pickup. Again, we addressed the cornerbacks a little bit in free agency, but we could always use more. And I think this would be a nice pickup. Shaquille Barrett, linebacker from the Broncos. Again, Buffalo not looking at the linebacker position. Dequez Denard, cornerback from Cincinnati, 27 years old. Another cornerback that could be a good slot corner. I wouldn't mind seeing either Bryce Callahan or Denard come onto this Buffalo Bills roster. Again, the Buffalo Bills, even though we've spent a lot, we still have a lot in cap space. I think we're around the high 30s, low 40s in cap space so far, in the millions. Now, you do need to keep close to 10 of that for the NFL draft, and you do want to keep maybe about somewhere between 5 to 15 mil going into the season, so that way if someone gets hurt, if you need to replace a player or something like that, you have that backup money in reserve. So, but we still have money to spend, and Dequez Denard or maybe even Morris Claiborne next on my list, cornerback from the New York Jets. Two guys you could definitely take a look at. Maurice Claiborne, I remember him with Ohio State, playing with the Jets, 29 years of age now, so again, maybe better in a rotational position, but we all know that that's what Coach McDermott, Leslie Frazier, that's what they like to do on defense anyhow. Keep rotating players in and out so that way they can keep, be fresh when we need them to be fresh. Now, would he pull a Vontae Davis situation on us like last year? I hope not, but maybe. But this Maurice Claiborne has been able to stay mostly healthy in his career, so I'm not sure if he would pull that on us or not. Adrian Phillips, defensive back of the Chargers. He is available. Jamie Collins, linebacker. Again, not looking at the linebacker position for the Buffalo Bills. Clay Matthews, formerly of the Green Bay Packers, 32 years old. Again, we're looking for an edge rusher. We're looking for leadership. That might be a name to circle, and I'm not lying about it. Clay Matthews, I know he's suffered through the injury bug just like the next guy on this list, but that would be, to me, Clay Matthews would be a very interesting signing. We like to rotate our edge rushers on defense. Clay Matthews a little up there in age. We know he can be dominant. He's been dominant in the past, right? Suffered from the injury bug the past few seasons, but he has the pedigree to have good leadership qualities, something you might want, especially when we talk about losing Kyle Williams at defensive tackle. And then next on the list, another guy who suffers the injury bug, position we haven't talked about yet, but a position we have addressed in old man Frank Gore, so maybe we don't need another running back, but Jay Ajayi, formerly of the Philadelphia Eagles, prior to that the Miami Dolphins, so we know what it's like to play against Ajayi when he is healthy. Obviously, he has suffered from the injury bug in years past, but he was part of that Eagles Super Bowl run 2 years ago. He's currently 25 years old, so he's still an age where if he can maybe get a change of scenery, maybe avoid getting injured, can make something big out of his career still. We look forward to hopefully seeing that for him, and we look forward to hopefully seeing that with the Buffalo Bills. So maybe look at Jay Ajayi, even though that would crowd our running back room and mean that we'd be less likely to draft a running back. It would put, a lot of pressure on teams of which running back to guard when you're talking about McCoy, talking about Ajayi, talking about Frank Gore, third down type back. And again, are we sure Chris Ivory's going to be there next season? That might clear a way for maybe a guy like Ajayi to get in there as well and have us draft a running back also. Who knows what's going to happen? We know there's plenty of time left in free agency. Again, this lasts till pretty much up to the beginning of camp and even beyond that, depending who gets injured in camp, right? So we'll see what happens, but I just want to give you an updated list of the best players available. So who did I miss? Who do you guys like that's still available in free agency that you want the Bills to take a look at? Again, we talked about Ansah. He was already visiting Buffalo Bills camp. He might be our next big signing or best signing left available, but we will see what happens. Let me know what you think. Again, leave a comment in the comment section below. Like this video, hit that thumbs up button right around this area, and right above that, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already subscribed, please cover all Buffalo sports. Buffalo Bulls March Madness come up. We will be going live for that. So after you hit the subscribe button, hit that little notification bell, ding, 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 and we'll have you covered for Buffalo sports. I look forward to hearing talking to you all very soon. Free agency is going nuts. Buffalo Bulls getting ready to go into some MAC championship action. We'll have it covered. Breaking Believe Talk. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.